So remember when Mitch McConnell was lamenting the quality of candidates? Quality of candidates, that's quite a euphemistic term for a collection of corrupt buccaneers who, frankly, would be more at home on a pirate ship in the 17th century, raping, pillaging, plundering, killing. The Senate candidates, if you look across all of them, from J.D. Vance here in Ohio, who literally pretended he was trying to help neighbors of his and people like that who had opioid addiction and just sort of hired somebody from Farmer to go up and, well, help addict more people. To Marco Rubio, who has voted against every sane policy, who lives in the city of Miami that literally will be swallowed up by water, but, sends out nice Bible quotes that are non sequiturs all the time and refuses to do anything to help the people of his state. But here we're going to talk about three people who have made incredible claims the last 24, 48 hours, or done incredible things. Have been quite a look into that quality of candidate thing Mitch McConnell talked about. One, well, Herschel Walker, and Mitch McConnell actually supported Herschel Walker's running when Donald Trump brought him up. Famous, football player, black, so the party could pretend they actually don't hate black people, that kind of thing. Herschel Walker came out, and we found out more and more. First, we found out he put a gun up to his wife's head and threatened her. We found out that new kids would pop up each week. It's like an episode of The Smurfs, so you find out there's a new Smurf somewhere. Yeah, we just would find out there are more kids out there that Herschel's had we don't even know about. Virulently anti-choice, to the point of life of a mother doesn't matter. You can't have an abortion, or Herschel Walker thinks he has the right. You're a ward of the state of Georgia. He has the right to come himself, peer at you, and then lock you up in prison forever. Well, turns out he had a mistress who he took to have an abortion in 2009, and that's now come out. His son, Christian Walker, who's a little bit of a MAGA freak himself, even though he's black and gay, big TikToker, has finally disowned his dad. So not only do we know that he's a big liar on abortion rights, but he came out and actually said on Twitter, "We told you not to run with all the baggage you have, and my mom and I had to run every 6 months because we were scared you were going to hurt us." That's right. The son of Herschel Walker admitted they basically had to create their own witness protection program to escape his violent tendencies. By the way, there's another girlfriend out there and one or two other folks who have accused and charged him with sexual harassment, sexual assault. That's one of their great candidates. The second one, I don't even know what to do with anymore. Mehmet Oz, who we know is a supporter of a fascist Erdogan in Turkey, served in their army, is a denier of the Armenian genocide, vicious, evil person that he is. Used to push diet pills on TV that don't work. Done all sorts of shady things, scary things. Now we find out he kills puppies. Yes, for lab experiments from 1989 through 2010, or I think it's 1999 through 2010, Mehmet Oz was murdering puppies. He was taking puppies and experimenting on them in a lab and killing them. That's sort of the definition of sociopathy, people. Like, it makes me want to vomit, honestly, as a multiple pet owner and just a human. Oz, I'm having trouble saying anything else. 300 plus puppies this guy murdered. He also killed pigs and rabbits and I think over 800, but that's horrible too. Puppies, the ones we invite home and our pets and we love. Yeah, he killed them. And finally, we get Ron Johnson today, Russian Ron in Wisconsin, the one who on our 4th of July, on literally the day you'd be least likely to go and visit a country that attacked your election 18 months beforehand. He and another group of sycophants went over and kissed Vladimir Putin's ass in the summer of 2018. After we knew Putin had tried to hack our election, had created fake Facebook pages, all sorts of things to mislead American voters and help Donald Trump win that election. Ron didn't care. It's his own party, so he went over there. Funny, he came back repeating everything Putin said. COVID, denial, and the vaccine is worse than actual COVID. Anything that could sort of divide the American people. Shared all sorts of conspiracy theories. The election was stolen. We found out, by the way, that Mike Pence's people, that he actually delivered his office, the fake electoral votes, to Mike Pence to try to overthrow our election. That's the traitor we're talking about here. And now we also find out he thinks it's funny that his rhetoric about the fake election that inspired January 6th harmed and killed Capitol Police officers. These are the guys that are running on, Democrats want to defund everything. Well, they want to defund the FBI, and they put guns in the hands of all sorts of people, which shocking that gun assaults and murders are spiking in red states. That's where crime's going up with guns. But in addition to all of that, He sat on a panel and laughed and said, "Oh, January 6th wasn't a coup. It was, well, maybe a few people discovered new ways to use American flags." Think about that, guys. Think about that. He thought it was funny that this group of atavistic losers, this group of moronic MAGA Republicans charged our Capitol, knocked over barriers, broke the law, tried to overthrow our government, and harmed, injured, grievously, scarred for life, PTSD, and a couple actually killed one officer and a few others took their own lives. He thought it was funny that people were stabbing people with American flags. Think of the symbolism there, what the American flag's supposed to stand for. And this guy, Ron Johnson, this scumbag, thinks it's funny that they found new ways to use American flags, taking out police officers' eyes and stabbing them in the chest and breaking their skin, maybe breaking an arm or a leg. Hilarious, man. Hilarious. These are your Republican candidates that Mitch McConnell was talking about. He's right. They do have a lack of quality candidates, except for it's because they're cruel, they're corrupt, they're evil, they're sick, they're stupid, they're ignorant. They believe they belong nowhere near Washington, D.C., much less serving in it. I hope we can kick all three of those out and many, many more, and we'll hold the Senate. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Please do, if you haven't, please turn on your notifications, and you can like and comment, and just, again, thanks for supporting the channel.